we try as much as possible to let you know and encourage you that no matter what stage you are in right now in your marriage can succeed, your marriage can work, you can have your dream marriage, you can have that marriage you have always desired to have. And it just takes you being deliberate and being intentional about everything you do, and you can achieve a great marriage. So we're so glad that you're here, and hopefully you learned something new today.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we've been talking about men's mental health. Even in marriage, the mental
Yeah.
health of a man needs to be watched, needs to be cared for, so that he's in the right state of mind at all times. And we're using this period to create awareness, but not just to create awareness, to also raise support for the males,
Yeah.
especially men in marriage. And let's see what WHO says about mental health. WHO, which is the World Health Organization, defines mental health as a state of well being in
Mhm.
which an individual realizes their own abilities, can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to contribute to their community. So you see that once a man is in a good state of mind,
Yeah.
has good mental health, is able to be productive, able
Mhm.
to contribute even to the growth and development of his family and
Mhm.
his community. So it is
Yeah.
very important that we talk about men's mental health. And last week, we were able to highlight some reasons why we need to focus on men's mental health.
Mhm.
We say that men are the ones that are less likely to seek professional help,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to health and mental health. We also said that the rate of suicide among men is very high. Statistics shows that more men are committing suicide than women. And then
Mhm.
the burdens on them, the societal pressure, the expectation from family, from work, from businesses, from the community on the man is so much
Mm.
that he may even be going down under pressure without knowing it,
Yeah.
and even without his spouse knowing it. And
Knowing. Yeah.
sometimes uh, those signs that show up that should be red flags and a call for help and support for the man end up being interpreted as a need for antagonism,
Mm.
for fight. So there's a need for people to know that sometimes these red flags are actually calls for help. And so
Mhm.
last week we stopped by talking about some signs that you're going to watch out for. That will show that this man needs attention. So maybe we'll start this week recalling some of those signs, and we want to appreciate those who made contribution last week. We had calls from people who said that indeed men are trying,
Mhm.
men are going through a lot, and there was a need to support males, in marriages particularly. So today we will talk about some signs that you as a spouse can watch out for and know that your man needs help. Signs of a man struggling with his mental health or having mental health challenge
Mhm.
or issue. And then we are also going to share with you some contributions from people in the audience, those who have been listening to us from the public. We're going to share with you. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a loaded edition today.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very loaded, a full package for you today. When you were talking about how the caller last week appreciated the callers, yeah, they appreciated men. I just started thinking the truth is that men don't get appreciated as often as they should get. Men actually appreciated, but I don't think we verbalize the appreciation to them as we ought to. And I think that's one lesson we should learn as we celebrate men and their mental health this period. We should take more time to appreciate them, let them know that what they are doing, we take note of them, we see their sacrifices, the efforts they are making, and all that. I think when someone knows that they are being appreciated, they tend to be able to know that, oh, what they are doing is appreciated and is being acknowledged, and they are able to do more. But sometimes I think men just it just looks as if they are doing so much and they are not being appreciated. They even feel people are not even taking taking note of what they are doing. And I think that's one thing women should learn to do more often, going forward from now. All right, so we were talking about some signs, just like you said. Sometimes the men can be going through things and they will be right in our eyes, but we are not seeing them. They'll be showing signs, they'll be showing symptoms, but sometimes, like you said, we, instead of helping, we just feel, why is he behaving like this? We begin to antagonize, we begin to fight back, not knowing that it's as a result of what they are going through that they are acting that way. So women need to be more deliberate, more attentive, more sensitive to the needs of a man, especially their mental health need. Because normally men will not come and tell you that I'm having a mental health breakdown, or I'm having a mental health challenge, or I'm doing this. They will even want to hide it from you as much as they can. So it's now in our place as women, as sisters, as mothers, to take note of these little changes that they are showing, and begin to seek help, begin to allow them to talk, to express. Because for some people, just being able to express themselves, to talk about what they are going through, can be very therapeutic, and you don't have to even seek professional medical help. But if we don't take note, we don't even care, how would they be able to feel free to talk? So I think one of the signs we talked about last week was the fact that when they begin to show irritation, they begin to become angry at very little provocation. Maybe something that you usually do before, and they don't pay attention, they don't take note, they don't get offended. By the time you do that, or do something even smaller than that, you see them getting very angry, very upset, and they are so angry and trying to be antagonistic and attack you. Just know that there's something wrong, especially when you know it's not in their character to do that. So that's one sign to tell when your man, your husband, your brother, your father, any male figure around you is going through mental health breakdown.
Yeah, sometimes when a man gets easily angered or
Mm-hmm.
irritated, instead of wondering that something is wrong, the woman, maybe his wife, will now want to match anger for
For anger,
anger.
yeah.
And at the end of the day, instead of helping the man out, you are compounding the issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the gentle spirit is actually the strength of the woman.
Yeah.
You can actually counter that anger with a gentle
It's a
spirit, and you just
gentleness.
calm him down, you just disarm him,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
before you know it, you just let out what has been
Yeah.
troubling him. But
Yeah.
when you decide to match it anger for anger, you compound the issue, and you just get him angrier, the more, and it just makes the whole state, his mental state, worse,
Mm-hmm.
and you won't want that to be. So we want to plead with the wives, to be more sensitive.
Yeah, I
If
think
your
that's the word.
gentleman, your husband, starts showing some signs of anger, which he wasn't showing before, it may not just be because he's not happy with you.
Mm-hmm.
It may be that he's not happy with some situations in his life,
Life, yeah.
and he just busts out,
Mm.
uncontrollably. So you need to talk with him, and then if there is need to call for help,
Yeah.
call for help.
Mm-hmm.
For me, no matter what, it shouldn't get violent.
Mm.
If it's getting violent, please call for help immediately.
Yeah.
Another sign you're going to see is withdrawal from families,
Mm.
families and friends. Maybe he's someone who is family oriented, he's someone who is social, and all of a sudden you see him withdrawing,
Mm-hmm.
keeping to himself, doesn't want to go for social activities, doesn't want to connect with families. Sometimes he may even ignore some phone calls coming
Mm.
in, and you wonder, but why? It could be just that he's troubled. He
Mm-hmm.
just feel he's not in the right state and frame of mind to answer such a call,
Yeah.
or to go for such social events. So once you see your man withdrawing, know that something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you like going out together, you like going for social events together, and all of a sudden he tells you he doesn't feel like going, you can go alone. Instead of getting angry
Mm.
and bringing war home, fighting with him,
Mm.
just talk out, ask why.
Yeah.
I keep saying that the greatest question is why,
Mm.
to ask why, but why, and ask it in a gentle way so that
Yeah.
you can get the right answer and the
Response.
result. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing is the sleep pattern. When you notice their sleep pattern has changed, maybe they are sleeping more or sleeping less, or, something just is different about their sleep pattern. That's also another sign that you can take note of and then begin to find solution, find help for them, and don't just complain, or, just make sure that you do something about it,
Yeah.
because that's a sign that shouldn't be ignored, because this sign can even affect their health generally. So yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes when a man is worried, he loses sleep.
Sleep,
He
yeah.
can stay awake overnight,
Hmm.
not able to sleep,
Hmm.
thinking of so many things,
Yeah.
looking at the ceiling, coming back to the sitting room, picking papers, trying to write out. So take note if your man is not getting enough sleep.
Mm.
And another way you can see that play out is when he's sleeping more than usual.
Mm.
That could be like trying to escape from the reality
Yeah.
of life. So I watch the sleep pattern of your husband or of your man. If he's undersleeping or oversleeping,
Oversleeping.
it could be a sign that there's something wrong with his mental health.
Yeah, we also talked about losing interest in their hobbies. Once you notice that what they like doing, they have suddenly lose interest. They no longer feel interested. They are no longer interested in doing what they love doing. Usually, you see them, maybe they go for a walk, they go for exercise. They like doing one thing or the other that you've taken note of, and all of a sudden, it just stops without explanation. It's not like they had injury or anything. Just know that probably they are going through something that they don't want to come out to talk about. So
Yeah. Another major red flag is substance
use,
abuse. You
yeah.
know, it could be drug, it could be alcohol, it could be any substance, psychoactive substance. If you
Mm-hmm.
notice increased use and abuse of such substance, please know that your man needs help
Mm-hmm.
urgently. Instead of quarreling with him, fighting with him,
Yeah.
seek help, talk with him, and see how you can be of help to him.
Yeah, so another point is difficulty in concentration. When they no longer concentrate about anything, on anything, you see them, they get easily distracted, they can't concentrate, they want to do something, they can't concentrate, they can't pay attention to anything they want to do. That's a serious red flag, because it means that their minds are not stable, so they are not even able to focus on something at a time. So that's a sign that you should take note of when you notice your man doing that.
Yeah, closely related is forgetfulness.
Hmm.
I remember while in the university, for those who went to the same university with me around the same time, you will know this story, so I won't call the person's name. There is a lecturer, a very respected lecturer, that drove his car. That was when the president then increased their salaries, and so many lecturers now got cars. And
I
he
can
drove his
imagine what
car.
you want to say is
Yeah,
going to
he
be
drove
really
his car
funny.
to the university, and after the day's event, he walked back home. As in, he got transport and went back
Like
home.
for real.
Yeah, for real. So it was when he got home, they started asking him about
Where's your
his
car?
car.
Oh
So it can get that bad. That people
my god.
keep get
Oh, that
forgetting
was a
things.
serious
Yes,
case of mental health
there are times that people
breakdown.
even forget
Like,
that they brought a car, or even where they parked the car, forget to pick their children from school,
yeah.
forget to get something that they plan, forget their anniversary. Some people forget naturally, but
Uh-huh.
when you see people that don't easily forget, now start
Mm,
forgetting things,
mm,
just know that something is wrong. So instead of you getting angry that how could you,
yeah.
please know that that man needs
He
help.
needs serious help, because
Calm him down. He's going through a lot of
mm-hmm,
pressure.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and another thing is when the person is feeling hopelessness, and there is this feeling of worthlessness. They just feel like they are hopeless. There is no future. They cannot. That's a sign. Like they just give up. They've already given up on life. They don't see any good thing coming their way. That's a serious sign that they are showing that all is not well. They are not mentally sound. So that's a sign that you should not joke with when you notice.
Yeah, and that's related to the expectations that are placed on men.
Mm.
There is this high expectation. So when a man feel he's not able to meet up with such expectation, and he
Yeah.
has tried his best, he has
Mm.
tried a lot, he will just feel hopeless. And
Mm.
that is also connected to the suicidal thought. Like,
Yeah.
what am I alive for?
For.
If what I'm doing is not working out,
Mm-hmm.
why am I still living and watching my family
Hmm.
suffer? Why am I still living and not meeting up to the expectations my family has of me or the society has of me? So please, when you notice that your man is saying some words like he's a failure or there is
Yeah.
no hope, what's
Mm.
there in the future? I've
Mm.
tried my best, I've not seen the desired result.
Yeah.
What else would I do?
Mm.
What else is there? Just know that that's the red flag, and you need to save that man's life, by paying attention to his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point we need to also talk about some things the woman can do to
Yeah.
help the man. When you see these signs, of course, these are not exhaustive, but
Mm-hmm.
for the time frame of this program, let's share some points we have before we go on music break, and then we now hear from others.
Yeah, so there are so many ways that a woman can be of help, because when this mental health issue starts, the very person closest to the man, especially when he's a married man, is the wife. And you shouldn't ignore any sign. You shouldn't just allow things to slide. You shouldn't just say, oh, he will come out of it, or and then just move on. No, it's good you take out time and pay attention to them and find a way to help, because the truth is that you can actually help. You can actually do something. No matter how little you do, you are doing something. And when someone knows that they are being helped, someone is trying to help them, they also want to do their best to get better. But it gets worse when nobody really cares, and it's showing like, oh, the wife I even have, or the sister, brother around does not care. So why should I even go on living? What's the use? So women, we need to pay attention. We need to take care of men in any way we can. So one way as a woman, don't say you can't do anything. No matter how little, you can do something. And one thing you can do is to learn to listen to them. Sometimes, just like we said, and this is a popular knowledge, men don't really like talking about their personal problem. They don't really like sharing, because when you even see men talk, maybe they talk about politics, they talk about football, they talk about other things that are not so personal, but you hardly see them talk about their personal issues. So you want to sit with them and allow them to talk. Ask them, how are you doing? What's the problem? What's going on? I noticed this about you. Why is this? Just let them talk, let them pour out. And once they begin to talk like that, once they begin to pour out, one thing you can do is not to judge them. Listen without judging them. Listen without the mindset of judgmental. Don't listen as though you want to judge them. Just let them pour out, because that's really what they want. Yes, there are many things you would want to see that, oh no, why did you do this? But that's not the time you should be doing that. Just allow them to pour, because one thing with pouring out, when someone begins to pour out and they notice, even from your facial look, that you're judging them, they will stop. And you won't get much from them. And how do you want to help someone who is not coming out, who is not talking? So, first of all, you want to listen, and listen empathetically, not judgmentally, so that they can be able to pour out all they have, yeah, to you.
Yeah, and uh, very closely related is the art of questioning. You
Mm-hmm.
need to learn how to ask the right question,
Question, yeah.
genuinely
Mm.
showing concern. So while you're listening, learn to ask the right question, to
Mm.
probe in the right way, in a way that will make the man feel safe and comfortably. And you ask questions about how he is coping with the
Mm.
stresses of life. Don't think that your man has no stress.
Mm.
Just once in a while, ask genuine question. How
Yeah.
are you doing, darling, honey?
Mm.
Whatever name you call
Yeah.
him. How are you doing? How are you coping with the stress of work? How are you coping with the financial situation? How are
Mm.
you coping with business? How are you coping generally? I hope we're not stressed to you. or just ask. And
Mm-hmm.
even as you ask the question, also give words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Let him know that you appreciate the efforts he's making,
Making.
how he's coping, how he's providing for the family. And even if there are challenges, financial challenges, appreciate his efforts,
Mm-hmm.
that he's not laid back, and that you understand that this situation is actually a burden to him. But let him know that he means a lot to you, even more than anything in this
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
more than anyone too,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Very, very, very important. Closely related is to encourage him. Encourage him. Let him know that, oh, what he's doing well. And if there are places where you can manage, maybe you see he's struggling so much to meet up a certain need, you can offer to say, oh, we can manage here, we can do this, we can adjust here. Just let him know that you feel him, and then you can also encourage a healthy routine. If you notice maybe stress at work, stress in different places, you can advise him, you can encourage him to do it this way, maybe do it that way, because maybe they'll just be going. They don't know that what they are doing can be done in a different way that can actually give them ease in life. And so you can provide solution, you can provide counsel, and just give them encouragement generally that will help them cope.
Yes, yes. And talking about routine, there are things you can do, like the exercises that help in reducing stress,
Yeah.
encourage him to take a walk,
Mm-hmm.
encourage him,
Mm-hmm.
to go for social events,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
like music is therapeutic. You can also encourage him to listen to music. You can decide to play music at home and listen together, dance together, the right music, and you could watch movies together, just do
Yeah.
things that will ease off pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also encourage him to seek professional help.
Yeah.
Men on their own would not want to seek help
Mhm.
because you are
And this
supposed to
part
be
of
a
the
man.
world.
Yes, you're supposed to be a man, so
Yeah.
why do you want to seek help
Mm-hmm.
from another man, or maybe a woman who is the health professional? But let him see that there is nothing wrong in seeking professional help.
Mm-hmm.
If it has to do with seeking the help of a counselor, a therapist, or even go to the health facility to have the right diagnosis or the right referral to the right profession now, that can be of help to you. It's best to receive help and be
Yeah.
alive than not to receive help
At
and be
all.
dying silently.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage him to seek help.
Yeah. And prompt help.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
prompt care saves life.
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying that.
Yeah. All right. So
I think,
we'll we'll
yeah,
we'll,
at
we'll
this
take a
point, we'll
pause
take a
now.
break,
Yes.
listen to music, and when we come back, we're going to play the voice notes from some of you out there who have been listening to us. Don't go anywhere, we'll soon be back.